You might listen to these tips and be like, well, Kirsten, I know so many dancers who are just living the perfect dance dream life and they are not happy on the inside. And to that I say, yeah, that's not how I'm defining success. Hello, welcome to the Confident Dancer YouTube channel. My name is Kirsten. If you're new, if you're not new, you might have noticed I took a little break over the last few weeks. I haven't posted a video, and that's because I took a lovely trip / vacation. I was in Hungary and in the Balkans as well, and it was just so refreshing and so soul fulfilling. So anyway, we're back at it. And today what I'm going to be sharing with you is a video on 5 mental habits of successful dancers. Let's go ahead and kind of define when I say successful, how am I defining that for this video? It's going to be a pretty loose definition. Okay, so what I mean personally is dancers who generally tend to accomplish their personal and professional goals while having mental well-being and a general state of happiness in their process. Now, this is not a rigid definition. It doesn't mean that success is defined by always accomplishing your goals and everything is perfect all the time or you're happy every single day. But I'm kind of just thinking about, let's say in the example of a recreational dancer, the kind of dancer who enjoys their weekly classes. They're generally proud of the progress they're making. They are continually improving, you know, and there might be highs and lows with that, but they're generally noticing they're performing and improving the way that they hope to. Or let's say if you're a professional dancer, how I'm defining success is continuing to improve in your personal goals, maybe getting pretty good feedback about your dancing, and you are, dancing in a way that you are proud of generally, while again being generally happy, satisfied, and mentally healthy. And I want to clearly define it that way for the purpose of this video, because the habits that I'm going to be talking about in this video are really ones that are related to dancers who are, yes, accomplishing generally what they want to in their personal dance journey, but also, like I said, doing it with a state of mental well-being, because I want to say that there are so many examples out there that I've seen of dancers accomplishing success. You know, they get the contract, they're improving, whatever, everyone else thinks they look great, but on the inside, they're working in a really self-critical way. They're full of judgment. They have low self-esteem. They're working from fear and insecurity and a lot of stress. And I don't think any level of professional accomplishment or personal accomplishment is really worth living like that all the time. So anyway, I just wanted to quickly set that foundation for this video, because if I didn't define that, you might listen to these tips and be like, well, Kirsten, I know so many dancers who are just living the perfect dance dream life and they are not happy on the inside. And to that I say, yeah, that's not how I'm defining success for this video. So that being said, let's get into these 5 habits that you can start putting into practice yourself to more consistently have the experience and the results in dance that you want while being happy and satisfied in the process. So let's get into it. Trait number 1, or habit number 1, and I'm going to read it off of my notes, is not being quick to define whether they are good or bad at something, but rather curious about how they can always improve. In essence, this is really a trait associated with the growth mindset, if you've heard of that before, rather than the fixed mindset. And what is so important about this habit is that I notice so often that when we approach our daily practice or weekly practice with a lot of judgment, we tend to be very quick to try to define, did I do that well or did I do it badly? Am I good at this or am I really bad at this? And notice how that is kind of coming from this desire to put yourself in some sort of box and put a label on how good or bad you are at something. But labels or boxes doesn't really lend itself to openness to growth and improvement, right? So instead, what I notice when dancers are successful generally in the way I'm defining it for this video is they have an open mind to focusing primarily on the curiosity of how can I change this? What can I try? What can I add or subtract from my approach? What can I change in order to improve, rather than being so obsessed with, did I do that well? Did I do it badly? Am I good at this or I'm bad at this? You know, not being so quick to put a label on themselves. So this might show up, let's say in the ballet context, if you're a ballet dancer, as instead of being so fixated on, I'm bad at turns. Instead, you can use this curiosity and this focus on how you can improve. Instead of like putting a label on it, release the label of being good or bad at turns and saying, okay, what can I try? How can I approach my turns to take one more step towards improvement? What would that next step be? Focusing your mind, your time, and your energy on that is going to be so much more productive and healthy for you than just focusing on, oh, that was bad, or oh, I'm bad at this, I'm going to try to suck less at this. You know, that's getting into judgment, which is not going to be as productive for you. I love this next one. Habit number 2, again, I'm going to look at my notes, is enjoying the process of improving and dancing itself instead of only enjoying the final results. This is about being process-oriented rather than being so results-oriented. Now, that doesn't mean that, it's inappropriate to focus on what you want and where you want to go. That's great to know where you want to go. However, tying your happiness and satisfaction only to the results is going to lead to misery in your process. Being miserable, stressed, and not happy or judgmental towards yourself in your process is going to inhibit your ability to actually achieve the results you want. If you have a better process in which you're finding satisfaction and enjoyment in the process itself, the results you want will come more easily. I promise you that. It's a paradox, so often dancers get really hung up on, I will be happy when I look like this. I will be happy when this teacher approves of me. I will be happy when I get this contract, or when I finally finish this audition, it's over and I get the result I want. But if you associate your happiness only with those end results, you're putting your happiness and satisfaction, your joy on hold. I really believe that healthy and happy dancers out here are better dancers. So if you start to actually associate enjoyment with the actual process of getting to where you want to go, like enjoying what you can from the process of seeing how you can, maybe dance more fully, take up more space, have a more, let's say, just a different presence or artistic presence as you dance, like enjoying those little things and enjoying the process of just experiencing that every day or whenever you practice, rather than only associating your happiness with the end result, I promise you, it will actually help you improve faster and give you a better chance at attaining the goals that you want, those final outcomes. And then you can just treat the final outcomes as the cherry on top for you, instead of like your key to happiness in this life. That's dramatic, but sometimes it does get that way depending on your relationship with dance, especially for my pretty professional and professional friends out there. We can get very attached to these outcomes and totally put them on a pedestal and think, oh, if I don't get this contract, I won't be happy. But that just lends itself to creating so much more stress in your life, and then making yourself, it feels like so much pressure to actually attain that end result, that the pressure you feel makes it harder to perform the way you want to get the results you want. I think you know what I'm talking about. So I will move on to the next point, but I just can't emphasize point 2 enough. Hey there, I hope you're really enjoying this video, but I just need to ask you something really quick. Is self-doubt really just sucking the joy out of dancing for you? Is being in your head and being self-critical and not feeling good enough, like even if you look fine on the outside and you're just plowing along, is that affecting your ability to perform and enjoy dance while you're at it? If those mental struggles sound familiar, or others like performance anxiety, perfectionism, comparing yourself to other dancers, any of those things, if those are impacting your ability to perform your best and feel your best consistently, then you don't have to keep struggling. I'm so passionate about this, and I want to talk to you about the Confident Dancer Coaching Program. This is a coaching program that focuses on the mental side of dance, where you and I can work together individually to truly help you to build the belief in yourself, let go of all the negative programming in your mind that's impacting your ability to perform in your experience, and help you truly build the confidence to thrive as a dancer and fulfill your personal potential. If that's something that you want, you can click the link in my description box to visit kirstenkemp.com, learn more about the Confident Dancer Coaching Program, what it includes, how it works, read incredible testimonials from past clients who've worked with me, and schedule a free 30-minute consultation where you and I can connect, talk about your goals and challenges, absolutely no strings attached, and just see if working together would be a great fit for you and your goals. If that's something you're interested in, definitely take advantage of that free consultation. experimentation. Give yourself a chance to truly thrive as a dancer, and I hope to talk to you soon. And that is all I have to say. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Let's move on with it. The third trait I see of successful dancers is putting in the work because they love it, they love the process, and they want the process and that enjoyment for themselves instead of solely working for someone else's approval. Now, I want to say that our desire for external validation is valid. It is normal. It is not normal to completely detach yourself from what anyone else thinks. You know, we don't need to think of external validation in these black or white terms. What I mean by that is either thinking of it as we are obsessed with what people think of us, and then the ideal should be to not care at all. It is totally valid, normal, and good to care. However, sometimes we, as you know, get imbalanced with that. And we work because we want to avoid negative feedback, or we want good feedback, instead of working and improving and putting that effort in because we love just doing that. We love the process of dancing. If you feel like that's hard for you to tap into that love of the process, maybe you feel like you had it at one point, but you've lost it, or you are getting so hung up on external validation, there's probably a good reason for that. And it's so great to seek individual support. I definitely help with that in my individual coaching program. As a mindset coach, I really help dancers through the mental struggles that maybe a lot of people don't talk about or know how to address. I work through those individually with dancers. So if that's something you want help with and it would really, really enhance your life to not struggle with that anymore, definitely reach out. But yeah, finding joy in and love of like just the process of dancing for yourself. I know it's like a vague concept, like we hear a lot, dance for yourself. But when you actually start to learn what that means for you personally, make it personal, find a way to do it, then it is so much easier to say, you know what, I would love for this teacher to not yell at me, or I would love for them to also appreciate what I appreciate about my dancing. But a dancer who has the successful mindset, as I'm defining it, is going to focus mostly on, well, what is my opinion of how I'm dancing? Am I enjoying this? How can I enjoy it more? How could I find more satisfaction in this? How do I want to grow? You know, you're going to be focusing more on how you want to grow and what you enjoy about the process, instead of putting your happiness in the hands of someone else and what they think about you. Habit number 4 of successful dancers, I really like this one as well. It's practicing observation and experimentation as they dance instead of harsh judgment. It's really having this mindset of just observing, okay, that went how I wanted it to, that did not go how I wanted it to. Let's experiment. What's another approach I can experiment with this next time? How can I maybe push myself, or, you know, just experiment with a different approach? I find that when dancers do this, they practice observation of themselves and what is going the way they want to or not, instead of harsh judgment, and like also practicing experimentation, saying, okay, let's just try this, let's try that, instead of, okay, I have to do it well the next time, or, oh, that was bad, I need to fix it. See how that language I just used, it has a lot of judgment in it. Oh, that was so bad, I need to fix it. I have to do better. Okay, I have to practice it next time to fix that. That puts pressure on how you are practicing, and having that harsh judgment in your approach and in your mindset is going to actually limit your ability to observe new solutions and create new solutions. When you practice an open mind and you're practicing as much objectivity and just observation as possible, like just witnessing your experience of how you're dancing, witnessing what goes the way you want it to and the way you don't want it to. Notice I'm using that language instead of, oh, that was good, that was bad. It's like, okay, that went the way I wanted it to, that did not go the way I wanted it to. How can I experiment to find new solutions? And notice experimentation, it's a very open-minded state of being. You're playing with different solutions to allow yourself to see what sticks and what doesn't. It's an open mind rather than having that closed-minded, judgmental mindset, which is going to put pressure on, okay, I have to do it better next time. And that, again, is going to shut you off from learning, growing, and experimenting with the possibilities and solutions that actually could work for you. Habit number 5 is treating the process of growth as a fun and almost impersonal game to play, where sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, rather than associating all outcomes with your personal worth. So really, to simplify this point, I'm talking about leaving your ego at the door and treating your process as a dancer and your journey as a fun game. Like it really is like a game where you accept that sometimes you win the game, sometimes you lose the game according to your personal rules, but it's all about playing the game. And in that game mindset, you can actually remove your ego a little bit more from the results and accept, like, hey, sometimes you don't get all the results you want. Sometimes you have this idea in your head of like how fast you should improve and what should happen, but we forget sometimes that our ideas of what should happen and how fast it should happen and what shouldn't happen are just assumptions. They're just judgments. They are just ideas. And our ego can get so wrapped up in all the shoulds, like, I should have this, I should look like that, I should be better than this dancer or whatever. And all these teachers should like me to prove that I'm worth something. See how your ego can get so easily wrapped up in that? And also, I'll say, like, your personal sense of worth can get so attached to always having this sense of winning, growth, things going the way you want to. And that's just such a hard way to live, because in that mindset, we're kind of forgetting that not everything goes our way. And that's not fun. You know, I understand it's hard, but having this mindset of, you know, it's kind of like a game. Part of the challenge and the fun is like knowing that sometimes things go the way you want, sometimes they don't, but that doesn't have to mean something about your personal worth as a human being. And I understand it's, you know, easier said than done. That's why I coach dancers as my full-time job. Dancers from all over the world. We all struggle with this at some points, like really taking things personally and getting our ego and our worth really wrapped up in our results. But the more you can start to remove your ego and sense of worth from your results and accept that you don't always feel like you're winning, and that's totally normal, that is so, so helpful. And it helps you to just kind of notice things as they are and just move forward in a productive way, rather than getting so stuck in cycles of like being really attached to performing a certain way, and then when it doesn't happen, getting really, really devastated. So that just makes the journey a lot harder than it needs to be. So anyway, I hope that you really, really enjoyed this video and that you got a lot from it. I would love to hear what you think in the comments. What tip resonated with you the most? Let me know. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye bye.